Welcome, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with more Vintage Story today. We're on episode number 33 of the hardcore playthrough, and we're standing out here at the side of the house with our adolescent maple wing named Pancake. There she is. And of course, she's not fully grown yet, so we can't fly her around, but we're also still waiting on a saddle. Well, we're actually waiting on the leather, but look at this. The very first batch is complete. That's right, I actually spent a bit of time in between recordings doing a little bit of building, so we're going to take a look at that shortly. But in that time, of course, some of the leather completed. Now, 25 is not enough to make the saddle, so we've got 17 more here that's 98% dried, and another 30, which is really just getting started, so it's only 12%. But after a little bit of experimenting and a few commenters trying to help me out here, I've realized at this point the best way to dry this stuff is in the backpack. Any container that I put this in, whether it's in my cellar or above ground here just in the regular room, actually reduces the speed. Even this little basket over here, if I put this in, boom, we'll actually do this first one here. Yeah, so that's only 0.25 times drying rate in this, where the drying rate over here is 1 time. So I did have one commenter suggest maybe there's a way that I can get this out of my inventory and into a container that's still going to give us that 1 times drying rate. So we're going to test that today too. And like I said, we're kind of just playing the waiting game, waiting for this. And of course, we're also waiting for some flax to grow too. We need papyrus. Believe it or not, it's one of the components for this saddle recipe. So we are just playing the waiting game, and we're going to do some building. I'm thinking maybe even a boat dock today, but real ambitious. We've got lots of ambitious plans to expand this place. We also need a dedicated kitchen. Oh, hello, which is going to go over here on this side. But like I said, big plans in the works, folks. So thank you once again for joining me. Let's get things started. Okay, well, before we head outside and take a look at what I've been working on, first let's check up on the mycelium that's down here, aka the mushrooms that we've got soaking. Still a couple days for these, so this is our latest batch of mushroom leather that we're going to be making. Over here we have a bit more too, so yeah, I mean, it's small quantities in each. There's only 3 mushrooms here, 2 in the other one. I think the biggest batch we have is 5, so it's going to be small batches, but that's okay. It eventually all adds up. And if you've missed the last few episodes, the making leather from mushrooms is a slightly different process, but it's a really great mod. I recommend it if you're doing some sort of challenge where you don't have access to a lot of meat, or like me, maybe no meat whatsoever. But either way, let's see what we got. So yeah, one of the components I mentioned for the saddle is this recipe. So in addition to the leather, we need 1 piece of parchment, and I made a bit of the linen pulp, but not quite enough. So I think, what do we need? 3 more pieces? Yeah. And of course, we're totally out of flax, so we're gonna pop upstairs, check on the garden, and like I said, we got a surprise building project. But let's put this rot away. Yeah, so I was advised recently about how to make rot the quick way, and that is using bread dough and just letting it turn to rot. So now we've got our first full stack of rot to seal up, believe it or not. Yeah, without meat, shockingly, rot, I mean, you just don't get a lot of it. Eventually, I probably will get rot just from having so much grain, but I mean, it literally takes years for this stuff, you know? And of course, if I want to get the maximum rot rate, I would have to carry it around in my backpack. But like I said, there is another way, possibly. So we're going to check that out. But first things first, let's get up here. I think the sun is up. Yep, it's 6:30. Beautiful day. No rain today. That's nice. Let's pop up to the roof real quick. Oh, speaking of roofs, what is this? Yeah, like I said, I did a bit of work off the camera. I really was just trying to pass time with the leather in my pocket, and it worked, but I've improved what is going to become Pancake's home. So let's pop down here. Yep, I continued, of course, using the redwood and ebony together with some light and dark mud brick. That's right. So when we last saw this place, it was all the dark mud brick, but I'm still trying different stuff, you know, keeping this like layered kind of motif going. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think of it? Let me know. I'm still thinking, actually, I might take out this layer of ebony and put a layer of redwood, kind of similar to what I've got going here. But then it wouldn't really line up and match these. So I'd probably need to like take these pillars out and use redwood. I don't know. We'll see what you guys think about it. But of course, the roof is going to stay open. And obviously this is so that we can take off and land in this position. So yeah, just a little basically corral for Pancake. And I still might even extend it. Maybe we'll do some sort of like covered barn area for her. If we extended it over here, we might be able to give her a proper little room, you know, where she can get in out of the rain on the overcast days and stuff. But that'll be more for just looks, more or less. So we won't prioritize that quite as much. But there we go. So it's looking okay. Still haven't figured out a great way to light up the center. So unfortunately, that little oil lamp still has to sit there. But that's a small price to pay. I was actually thinking about going through, taking out the lanterns and just making like 8 oil lamps, placing them all around. That might be a bit better, but I don't know. It's not a big deal. Small detail. I hear the chickens. Oh, let's go check them out. See if we want to feed them anything here. Oops, and make sure to keep my new hotbar spaces, the blue spaces of 8 at R. Boom. One of the XSkills mods little abilities. And I do love it. But either way, we're here to look at chickens. So, hello, little ones. Oh, yeah, they're getting bigger. So, I had talked about segregating the rooster. But again, thanks to another great commenter out there, you guys are the best. I don't know where I'd be without you. Recommended maybe I should leave the roosters unpinned, because if you're unaware, the roosters will fight each other, and they'll fight each other to the death because there's only one dominant rooster in a group, and that will actually give us a bit of meat. So it's kind of a passive aggressive way of acquiring a little bit of meat, which can be super helpful. You know, if we had some right now, we might actually be able to speed up Pancake's growth cycle. But regardless, we're still waiting on the goats, of course, so that's something we'll probably go check on them today. Yeah, since I spent a bit of time off camera, I didn't really go over there at all. You know, I was just a homebody the whole time. But hey, would you look at that? And the time we were talking, the leather completed. Yeah, so we've got 42. We could start to make the jerkin and then make like armor, but I'm going to save this as much as it hurts me. Yeah, especially sitting here with these linen sacks instead of leather backpacks. But this is going to go towards that saddle. I think we needed 32 for the saddle. I have to double check, but again, without the parchment, it's not much good to us, so it's just going to kind of sit in one of my backpacks for a while, or I suppose I could actually put it in a chest now. But this right here, 8 of 9, is our closest flax, and I do have it fertilized, so as good as that's going to do me, it'll at least hopefully speed things up. But I will be dutifully checking these as we work around the place here. And the trees are looking good. Yeah, obviously no fruit yet, but boy, oh boy, once these things do mature, it's going to be, we're going to have tons of fruit. Yeah, our fruit nutritional value is going to become a non-issue at that point. But either way, like I said, we've got a bit of a test to make here. See if I can maybe get this leather here that's drying out of my pocket, and then we'll go check on our goat herd. Alright, well, for this test, I needed to go grab the raft, so I went over there because I had my raft parked just on the opposite side of that little lagoon there, out of the current of the river, basically. But, of course, we're also going to need a basket, too, which I don't currently have, so let's just whip one up with my wonderful papyrus. I'm still in the mind that I should be able to make paper from the papyrus too, in addition to the flax, but hey, I'm not complaining. We got to play by the rules. So we do have a raft, as I mentioned, and a basket. This was the advice given to me by a commenter. If I place the raft, and we could do it in the water, but apparently it works up here on land too just as well, so that's pretty cool. But we're going to put the basket... Oh, no, I think I hit shift to attach the basket. Yeah, it says it right there in little pop-up hotkey tip. All right, so now we've got a storage space. And let's just see what this does when we put this mycelium in here. I've got a single one. I was testing this in another area. And it does, look, 1x drying rate. Yep, the same as what's in my backpack. So essentially, yeah, this just frees up the space I was using in my backpack, and we can put it out here. That's awesome. Yeah, it's incredibly hard, shockingly, to find a container that's going to have that 1 times drying rate, 1.0, I guess I could call it. Yeah, that's really cool. So big shout out to the commenter who mentioned that. Now, can we put down our thing here too? Well, I could just wait. I did see it pop up. There we go. Working perfect. This is as fine a spot as any. I could put it inside the house, but we'll leave it here because then we have easy access to the river when we need to actually use the raft for its intended purpose. But yeah, phenomenal. Test, total success. Well, I tell you, even if we're not going to be mounting the horses and riding them around, of course, we've got a dragon for that. I still think it's really cool that they're here in the world with us, so I like that they're in, and of course, it's the same mod author as the Draconis mod, too. But really exciting mods. I love anything that adds mounts, especially flying mounts to the game, but... Let's see, Goat Pen dead ahead, so let's hop over there and take a look at them. All right, and we are here. Let's see, is there a baby inside? I doubt it, but nope, no little one yet. Let's see, pregnant female, obviously, that's good. She hasn't given birth. So, do we continue to feed her? We can. It's not like it's hard to get this food. I tell you, I really have to put something in these little slots here, because anytime you like shift and click, it always goes into these first. But either way. All right, so boom. Yeah, let's just... No, don't eat them yourself. Let's fill it up. There we go. Because, of course, we do want them to breed basically immediately after she gives birth again. Because regardless of what the gender of the first one is, we're hoping for a second of the opposite gender. We need a breeding pair to take home. But first things first, we've got to just wait for the first baby. So that's what we're doing. But I'm not going to stick around out here too long. Yeah. Still a little paranoid after a previous encounter with the big cats, although that was in a different part of the world. It was really just like right over there, so it's not too far. But any time I spend out here in the wild is a little bit nerve-wracking. The hyenas, they're pretty much a joke. We're the ones laughing at them these days, but there are bigger and nastier things out there in the world. So let's get home and do a little building. Ooh, look at this. So I mentioned fruit earlier, and I've actually got some currant bushes hidden up here at the top of the hill. Oh, this one never flowered. Huh. So these 4 did okay, but this one failed for whatever reason. Either way, the white currant are going to flower again, or ripen in 6 days. They're already flowering. So that's phenomenal. It's not a lot, but hey, it's good enough to give me a little bit of fruit nutrition. And here we are back at the compound. I'm not sure, but I think we'll work on the kitchen area. I think that might be the best thing. And of course, it's going to require a little bit of preparation, digging out the ground. But the real hard part is going to be moving the dragon. I don't know if I can do that. I was hoping maybe I could attach a rope to her and give it a try. Let's just see. I don't know if I have any ropes made up, but there's more rot. I need a 3rd wild vine. I'm short 1 wild vine, but of course we can make some from papyrus. I think I know we can from cattails. Let's just see. Boom. Okay. And okay. I'm hoping, obviously, this can be used as a leash, basically. Let's just pop over here. Boop-a-dope. Close it up. If this works, I'll have to chop down some of the fencing here, but... Yep, okay. So I just crouched. I don't even know if crouching's necessary, but... Yeah, she's following me real well. Okay, so let's take this down. Yeah, I guess she can get through the 1x1. Can she come through here? She's kind of pulling on me as I pull on her. It's weird. No. You can hear it stretching, too. Well, that's okay. Here's what we'll do. Yeah, this is kind of awkward. Come over here. Oh, rope just broke. Okay, yeah, I don't need to crouch. If we can get her in here, this will be perfect, because I think it's wide enough. We'll just have to replace these after we've got her situated. Come on, pancake. Gosh, moving her around is just about as hard as flipping real pancakes, you know? It can be a challenge sometimes. It's all in the wrist, though. That's what they tell me. But, all right, little pancake boy, oh boy, I hope you're not this slow when we're flying up in the sky here. She's taking her time, but, you know, you got to give it to her. She's never been outside her little stone pen, so this is all new to her. Come on in, pancake. This is your new home. It's going to look so much better, I think, once she's actually in here, too. Yeah, there we go. So, I don't know how to... There we go. Just run away and break the rope. Good job, pancake. Yeah, this is all for you. Nope, you don't have to follow me anymore. There we go. Spread your wings out there, pancake. You don't need to clip through anymore. Look at her. She's got all that space that she's going to sit right by the gates and just look at me with sad eyes. No, that's okay. She'll get used to it. She doesn't like it, obviously, but she's going to like it. It'll grow on her. I have a feeling. All right, well, like I said, the first step in any construction is to tear down the old construction. But unfortunately, yeah, my pickaxe just broke, so that's going to be a repair job. Take a quick break from our construction, but that's okay because I think I might actually take the time to whip up the rest of the plates that we're going to need. Since we're getting closer and closer to actually making some armor, we're going to need 20 plates. So I just need 3 more. So what, that's 6 ingots. Yeah, basically while I'm doing one thing, we can do 2 at once here. So we'll fill that up. But before I actually start, I was given a recommendation for a roof because I've been kind of complaining about how I can't get the perfect roof up here, but it really just needs to be, you know, a block above my head. So it doesn't need to be elaborate, and we don't even need to see it. So in fact, I think some chiseled glass might be appropriate. And like I said, this was a recommendation from a commenter, so big shout out, Rod. Appreciate you, buddy. And yeah, let's check that out. Hold on, I got one thing. These berries are burning a hole in my pocket. Let me just look. So here's what I think we'll do. I'm going to put 10 of them in there, pop downstairs real quick, and just get a batch of food cooked up. Yeah, because I've only got 2 servings of my sunflower porridge, so we'll do that. Then I'll think about the roof. We'll get a roof on our anvil up there. Even though it's not currently raining, it's still good to just go ahead and get it done, you know what I mean? And we'll use some sunflower. I'm going to measure this out properly. Actually, let's just do 20 sunflower seeds. And I think I've still got some onion. Oh, I've only got 9. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Well, we can put that away. Well, I guess in that case, I'll just have to use 30 of the sunflower. Get a good variety. It's always better, you know. If you can get a nice variety of your nutritional needs in one meal, that's always more efficient. That's why pies are really the best, because if you do have cheese, then you can actually get all 5 of the nutritional categories, including dairy, protein, grain, fruit, and veggie, in one meal with pies. But I think you can do it with salads too, but of course those require mods to make salads. That's a modded thing. And it's a little bit tricky too. Okay, there we go. So yeah, like I said, we'll get this cooked up and then we'll fix this roof and maybe finally we can get started on the kitchen then so I can stop cooking here by this window. Oh boy, I got a lot of stuff going on. There's food cooking. We've got 2 different items for blacksmithing, but that's okay. I like multitasking a little bit, so I've got the glass up here. I haven't chiseled it yet, but just to show you, this is kind of what I was thinking about. Something very simple, and once we do chisel these, they'll become nearly invisible, especially out here at night when it's very dark. But we don't actually need the helve hammer for this little bit. Just going to knock a few of these off, and then we'll have to move the anvil under the hammer. But you can see it is ready. This hammer is going nuts over here, and I love it. Millwright mod. Not only does it, of course, speed things up, but gives a little bit of variety, too, to the sails that you can use. There's even an add-on, a separate mod specifically added on to the Millwright, which gives you, like, spiral and really, really nice, like, aesthetic-looking windmills, too. So even if you're on the edge about it, if you're on the, the fence about it, I should say, just go ahead and try it. Maybe load up a creative world with it in there. All right, let's actually keep those for now. What I need is a stick. There we go. Let's just get this going. Boom. Now we can clear out the rest of that fence. But let's place these 2. One of those. Get that lit. That's going to be our final plate right there. All right, that's lit. 2, 3, 4. Let's come up here. Move this guy. Let me get a spot here. Okay, get ready for the noise. It's coming. Haha. I'm not lying. Boom, plates aplenty. Now let's actually switch this. See how that looks. If I decide I don't like it, it almost just looks like there's some sort of graphical glitch up here. Oh, switch back. There we go. Believe how quick that was? That plate's already done. All right, plate. There it is. Boom. Yeah, that'll be fine for now. I might, from this angle, you can't even see it, can you? Yeah. I might make it up a little bit higher, maybe with the level of this. Yeah, that might be good. Even when it is noticeable, then it won't look kind of like just like floating glass there. But all right, you've done your work for the night, buddy. Calm down. Actually, no, that's not true. I got one more plate, but don't worry. It's not quite ready yet, so I'll just do this 3rd one on my own. But now we're fully prepared with 20 iron plates. So as soon as we get that leather finally all dried out, yep, there we go. We're going to be strutting around in some brand new iron chainmail. Well, the fences are all down back here. I think I'm going to dig up the rammed earth and then probably use it to level some of this out down here. Now, the real question is, do I want to extend the current building, or do I make the kitchen its own little, like, bungalow type, separate structure? I don't know. I'll have to brainstorm it a little bit. You guys know me. If you've been watching this series now, you know that I don't like to plan so much. More or less, like I call it, a discovery builder. I like to kind of discover the plans as I go. But I figured, oh my God, I got to come back to this noisy thing. If we are going to be expanding, we're going to need lights. So I figured I'd make a few more lanterns, and I've even got some more bowls being made down here so I can do some more oil lamps. Like I said, I'm going to kind of experiment, I think, over there with some oil lamps. Maybe take those down. They'll be a little bit less like visible, and I think the black of the oil lamps will kind of meld into the ebony a little bit better. But I think Pancake's doing okay. She's so small, she's lost in this massive structure, but I don't think she can get out over there. She's right on the edge, though, isn't she? You got all this space down here to spread your wings, but she sees that garden over there, and she's desperate to go play in it. But we're going to check the garden in a moment to see if our flax is ready. But Got a few more things to do around here, and oh my gosh, I was wrong. This glass is actually harder to see in the day than at night. It is practically, yeah, out of sight, out of mind here, so I think we'll stick with this for now, for sure, especially since I don't want to work on some elaborate roofing up here just yet. At some point, we're going to want a pulverizer over here too, but that's for steel production, essentially. There's a few other things we can do with it, but yeah, the pulverizer really is not essential yet because we haven't even found bauxite, so I'm not going to be able to do much with steel. But all right, time to take this noisy thing away. I really do feel like I'm like a parent taking away a kid's favorite like noisemaker or something every time I remove the dang anvil from this thing. Well, you know, I ran out of candles to make those lanterns, so I was looking at my flax quantity, and I think I miscounted regarding the linen pulp, or maybe I actually found some in my travels, because I think I might have enough to get started on the linen pulp that we need for that parchment. Yeah, so 1 plus 4 liters, and I only need 4 of these to make the parchment with the sieve, which we've got that already. But so we'll work on that. Yeah, I'll pop that in the barrels downstairs, but just came over to the garden to check. Yeah, currently there is a little bit of flax ready. Beautiful. I'm not going to replant right now because we're going to just pull this ground up. Yeah, the potassium here is pretty low, so that'll just get rotated. I've got stacks and stacks of medium fertility soil. Still haven't found any high fertility stuff, which is actually kind of unfortunate, but got 1 carrot too ready to go, and that looks like it might be everything. So yeah, garden's good. What do you think of it, Pancake? I was thinking about raising this, but I think I'll leave it because she seems to like to look over it and stick her head over. As long as she can't nibble any of the plants or anything, we should be good. Yeah, she's going to look really nice in here once she's full grown too. She's getting there every day that goes by, slowly but surely. All right, let's get these candles cooking. There we go. Yeah, only going to make 4 of them. Really trying to reduce my, flax usage here, but let's go ahead and pop downstairs. While that's cooking, we'll put the carrots away. Check out what we can do with this flax twine. Actually, ideally, I would use the fibers themselves, I think. So, let's see. What does this say? Okay, so 4 of them turn into 1. Right, yeah, 1 fiber pulp. So I am short 1 of these, because remember, we already have 1 pulp already made, and I need 4 total, so I'm literally short 1 fiber. Maybe I didn't miscount. Okay, so a single 1 of these does turn it, which makes sense, because 4 of these turns into 1 of these. I do have enough. Yeah, boom, there we go. Okay, so that's awesome. I mean, still waiting on leather, but we've got the pulp down here, so I mean, it's all coming together though. At least we're not going to be sitting on like a whole bunch of leather ready to go waiting on flax to grow. So now I think, because this pulp, yeah, only takes a day, so by tomorrow at this time we'll be making some parchment, and then it's just a real simple recipe. Put it in the crafting grid, yeah, with the dragonstone, and boom. And that, of course, is one of the critical components too. But all right, our candles should be done. So now I can whip together some more lanterns. Then I think I actually have to put off the breaking of ground here for another couple of hours while I go chop some wood. We're going to be integrating a lot of kapok into this build. I mean, I'm definitely using the good old standby, the bread and butter, the red and the ebony, but yeah, I'm getting a little low on kapok. Now, there are some giant kapok trees just down the coast. There's a pretty good jungle out there, but I also was planting several of the seedlings. Those are all self-planted. So I think what I'll do is I'll just grab a stack of seeds, go chop those down, And then, yeah, we'll bring that wood back here and see if it's going to be enough. But I might have to make a brief stop off to the coast to go chop down one of those massive kapaks. It's always fun to see those giant trees out in the wild like that. They are truly impressive nature, feats of nature, but at the same time, it's never safe heading out there into the wild, especially into the jungle where the only two types of bears that will spawn in the jungle, the sun bears and the pandas. So if we head out, of course, we always take our trusty stack of dirt with us. All right, well, here goes the last of the kapaks that I had planted over here. Starting to lose the light a little bit. Sun's going down. Man, I really want to get up there and chisel that block of glass, but I don't want to risk falling. Even though I know there's, if I'm careful, there's really no chance of me falling, but I'm just super paranoid about that. You know what I was thinking, though, here to get more serious is this bridge it's okay, but it would look so much nicer if it was a bit more like angled, I guess, if it was arched, I should say. So I'm thinking of reworking this at some point. Maybe not to go too high, but if I go just a couple of blocks up and then down and then maybe extend it, maybe we could essentially turn this into the boathouse itself, So in other words, it will still function as a bridge so we can go back and forth, but I will park the boat under it. We'll have like an enclosure using maybe like fencing gates so the current doesn't sweep it away. But the only hard part is once we leave with the boat to return it to this area, it's kind of tough because the current actually extends pretty far out into the ocean there. So it's a little tricky. I mean, getting it up to this point, took like a minute or two. That's why it's blocked in. But also at the same time, I really don't foresee using the boat too much. So even if we just build a nice looking structure for it and just park it there, I'll probably never take it back out. Although it was mentioned that it can be useful for transporting animals. So that would definitely be something like, if we were living in the north, particularly, and we wanted to go south and get some of the more unique animals that are down here, that would be one good way of transporting. Or also if you're out hunting for elk that you can tame, maybe, or if you just want to take your elk mount with you. But yeah, so the boat definitely does have purposes, down into mid and late game here. But for me right now, I don't think we'll be using it too much. And a lot of reason for that is the current, I could turn it off and we could just go up and down as much as we want, but I really love the look of the flow. It looks so nice. Either way, not worried about it. Let's go check on our leather. Started off. Okay, this one's almost done. This was a separate piece from an earlier batch that I was like testing in a different spot. So once that's done, that's probably still not going to be enough to do our full set of leather jerkins. And of course, if you're not familiar, when we make metal armor, whether it's chain or scale mail or plate, we have to basically have a set of leather jerkins first, which if you imagine we attach those metal pieces to the jerkin. So that's why we have to have leather. It's such a critical step. But either way, night has fallen, so it's time to put some stuff away. And in the morning, we can finally break ground, and hopefully we'll be able to make that parchment too, because that's going to be a very big step towards flight. So far, what do you think here? I believe I am going to make like a separate building for this kitchen, but I'm going to keep the continuity by, using some of the same materials. So we're going to bring this red strip right out. I don't know just how much of a gap I want here. Probably just like 3. Doesn't need to be too big, but maybe it'll really kind of come down to the roof where those kind of line up at, how they come together. But again, it's more or less just a creative experience here going with it. I'm trying to keep things relatively symmetrical for now. But yeah, and I don't really love the sandstone as a building material. It's good, in some accents, but of course, it is just the most prevalent thing we've got around here, so yeah, it's a nice change of pace from the normal gray granite that I do use, but alright, so we'll lay that down. Yeah, you can kind of see, and I did get some K-Pock, it's still inside, so another thing I'll do is the frame of our new building is going to be that debarked K-Pock, and then, I don't know, I'll probably still go with the like layer cake look of it. That would definitely help to, like I say, bring some continuity to the new build. So let me see if I can at least lay down the foundations of this thing. Hopefully I don't have to make too many trips out to get more material. If I can just lay this floor down, it'll look nice. And I've still got a bit of sandstone left, so this will give me a better idea of exactly, just how much space I'm working with. I've got my debarked quarter logs ready to go, but I decided to pop downstairs and make some of this fat. There it is, yeah, the plant-based fat. Another one of the new mods, new to me, I should point out when I say that, yeah, for this series, so I'm really liking this one. I might use it in future runs. I'd love to see like some compatibility with it and like cooking recipes, even maybe some of the windmill mods, but regardless, it is at least good for filling that need for fat. Where are my bowls? There we go. Yeah, we can go ahead and make those. And we are downstairs, so let's come over to the other room and check out. Hey, look at that. The mycelial pulp is ready. So this is for our leather, of course. Yeah, let me grab all of it. Now that we have turned it into the pulp, it should all basically stack together. Yeah, so 16... That looks good. Now it is perishable, fresh for 7 days. I really just noticed that. Let's go ahead and get it in some weak tannin. That's strong. I think we want weak for the first batch, right? Yeah, so that'll turn it into the acidified stuff. And from there, we've got some other stages, but let's get it in the barrel as quick as possible. And boom, the fiber pulp is ready. It's a double whammy tonight, so let's do this too. Let's get the recipe called up here for parchment. And let me pull open my crafting grid. I've got a full inventory, but we should be able to manage this. And boom, there it is. Yeah, that's fantastic. I think we can go ahead and slap this together too. Probably the last time I'll ever use the sieve, but who knows, maybe we'll make some more parchment for something. There it is, the draconic schematics. Oh my god, such a big step. Yep, and of course the harness is what we're looking at. It's here somewhere. There it is, yeah. So this, I've got some nails and strips pre-made. I think we can go ahead and whip it up. Let's just make the harness now that we've got that. Yeah, the leather and this was the hard part, so let's do it. Put that kitchen on hold again, and let's make a harness. All right, I think I've got everything here that we need. Boom. We're just going to put all the leather in, but we're just making one, obviously. And for boards, we're going to use the redwood. I don't think it matters, but either way, that's what we've got an abundance of. And last but not least, oh no, it didn't work. What did I do wrong here? It actually does specifically show walnut boards, doesn't it? Huh. It says with any wood and any color of leather, though. Why is it not working? Nails and strips. That can be anything, or maybe copper's not worthy. Steel, bismuth bronze, black bronze. I think it might need to be bronze or better. Oh, there's iron. Huh. Well, I don't see it cycling through copper. I think that's what it is. Well, in that case, it's not a big deal. I mean, we've got the plates. Yeah, I think I'll just grab a plate real quick. Oh my god, now my inventory truly is too full, and I'm gonna have to empty some stuff. But, well, false alarm, people. Let me see, but this is my first time actually flying one myself. I've flown on the dragons before on my multiplayer server, but they were, owned by another person. So I've never actually gone through this, so we're learning together, but hopefully that's the dilemma. We'll see in a moment after I whip up some iron nails and strips. Well, no insta-finish this time, but I have had it happen a couple of times now since choosing that trait with our XSkills, but boom, there we go. So cool those off. Let me put these away, and I guess I might as well drop those off. Don't need those apparently. I'm really hoping that it's the iron that's going to do the trick here, so... Alright, now I have 8 of these things. Might as well, I just used a full plate, so there we go. Let me go ahead and set that recipe up real quick, and we'll see if that did the trick. Okay, moment of truth. Yes, there it is, the draconic leather harness. Oh, okay, and the schematics are not consumed, so that's interesting. Good for multiplayer, yeah. So if you are on a server and you install this, you can just make one set of these, apparently, so that's pretty helpful. That dragon stone that we used is not super rare. I don't know, I actually found 3 of them when I found the egg itself, so I shouldn't say whether or not it's super rare, because I truly don't know. That's literally the only ones I've ever found. But disregarding all of that, we have ourselves a saddle. There it is, people. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, we don't have a dragon to ride it yet. Well, we do, but she's not quite full size, is she? I've dropped off my K-Pock right now. It's too late to do more construction, but let's just come check on Pancake. Oh my gosh. This is it, Pancake. Let me look at you. Oh, she has fully grown. Oh, no way. It's happened. She's no longer adolescent. What perfect timing. I thought she looked a little bigger there for a moment. Take a look, everybody. Pancake, the majestic maple wing female, is fully grown. This is it, folks. We are going to... shift, I think. Do we need to put the blanket on first? I don't know. I might actually need a blanket. I thought with the elk, the blanket is optional. Or I might be aiming at the wrong part of her. It's a little bit tricky with her moving around. Oh, wait. I can just right-click and sit on her. Huh. I don't think that will allow me to fly, though. There it is. Okay. Did it. Now we're on her. Yeah, and there's the icon here, so this is new, obviously. This is relating to the flight. This is like her form, I think, and then I think it's like a stamina. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is reread the mod page now that we're at the critical step of flight. Oh, she looks so good with that saddle. I'm going to definitely make it a point to have a bit more knowledge. So I'm going to reread the mod page because I know there's some instructions there. And leave me some tips. Anybody who has played with this one, drop me a comment. But we're going to end today's episode on a bit of a cliffhanger here. I didn't quite expect it to all come together so well. But in the next one, you can be sure that we are going to take flight with Pancake, and, well, we'll keep the destination at least a secret for now. But oh my gosh, thank goodness we can finally get on our dragon. It's been a while, folks, so if you have been tuning in this whole time, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for watching the series. Of course, we're not done yet, so make sure you continue to tune in, hit that like button, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.